Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Thursday, February 15th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some NHL action this Thursday afternoon. The Seattle Kraken defend the deep, release the Kraken versus the Boston Bruins. The puck drop should be here in just a couple minutes. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Thursday. It's going to be a tough one for Maddie B and company, but it is a homecoming for two of the players. Gru did a great job last night, so obviously they're going back to Joey Decord. And, this should be some extra motivation possibly for these two guys, Maddie Benitez and Joey Decord, or from the Massachusetts area, Joey Decord from North Andover, Massachusetts, and Maddie Benitez from Hingham. So hopefully we can end up finding a way to get these two guys locked and loaded early and often. Nice job for Maddie getting that first goal last game, and hopefully he can continue that with his line that he is in today. Let's go, baby. I am ready to go. A little bit of Boston love. A little bit of Kraken love. Let's go. Let's go. Megan in the building. What's good? I did see the Gino news. Daniel in the building. What's good? Sarah in the building. What's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. And obviously, we know this is going to be a tough matchup against Boston, but hopefully we bring the maximum effort as we can. And again, like I mentioned, it is a dual homecoming for Joey Decord and Maddie Benitez being from Massachusetts. So here at the TD Garden, we'll see what happens, and hopefully we can keep it close, and we can actually keep it, somewhat reasonable, and it ends up not being a blowout. So let's go. We need momentum, and we need it now, baby. Thank you for helping out on the Twitter/@. And then as far as the rest of the week, there's only one NHL game tomorrow. So we might end up doing, if there's like the NBA, they used to do like rookies versus sophomores or USA versus the international. I'm not really sure how they're breaking that down tomorrow, but I'm thinking maybe we'll end up doing some of the NBA festivities from NBA All-Star Weekend on Friday, since there's only one NHL game tomorrow, which would be the Hurricanes and the Coyotes. So I don't mind doing the Hurricanes and whatnot, but I might end up doing that NBA All-Star Weekend festivities. Obviously, it's not going to be the skills competition, the three-point contest, or the dunk contest, because that's typically on Saturday. All-Star game for the NBA is on Sunday. And then, again, we'll figure out what we end up doing for the Daytona 500 as well. I wanted to end up doing that this weekend. So we'll figure out what we decide to do on each day. Daytona 500, or if we end up doing the NBA All-Star Game. I got to look at the times of everything that we got going on. But for the time being, pasta. As long as we can hold pasta down, we might be able to keep it a little bit close. Let's go. Preston in the building. What's good? Stadium Series. Yeah, I got to be able to look at the schedule, and we'll see what we are going to end up doing. Obviously, they don't have anything really listed on. I'll have to do some more information, and I'll imagine more stuff will come out, obviously, tomorrow morning on how everything is formatted, or later tonight. So, but if anyone knows what's going on with the NBA tomorrow, what they're labeling their All-Star festivities, again, I liked it when it ended up being like rookies versus sophomores in the NBA, or USA versus Team International, something like that. So I don't know if they're going to be doing a 3-on-3 or something like they did last year, where they have a few teams of three, like 3 or 4 of them going at each other to try. Hopefully it's not like that, but again, I hope it ends up just being like a East versus West type of scenario. And again, I'm not really a big fan of the whole Team Giannis, Team LeBron. They just need to go back to the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, and I think it'd be a lot more enjoyable. But again, we'll find out how everything ends up getting formatted, and more than likely we'll be doing something on the NBA side for the All-Star festivities tomorrow. Unless it looks absolutely dumb and stupid, then we might end up doing that one single solo NHL game Saturday. I'll have to look at the schedule on what we're going to do there. Maybe we end up doing the dunk contest, 3-point contest, and the skills competition, and then the NBA All-Star game itself is going to be at 5 o'clock on TNT, and they went back to the East-West format. Thank God. So I like that. But what about tomorrow though? East versus West at the game tomorrow on Sunday for the actual All-Star game. But what's the rookie sophomore game being called? What's USA Team International going to be called? Is it going to be that dumb thing where they do like a 3-on-3 tournament with a bunch of the rookies and sophomores, which is absolutely dumb. But I mean, I guess if that's how they want to do it, so we'll figure it out. And then obviously on NASCAR, we're going to have the Daytona 500, so that'll obviously be another option for us to be able to do as well. I'm looking at the Daytona 500. All right, so Daytona 500 is on at 11:30. So we might be able to. Are they going back to the Rising Stars? Is that what they're calling it? Okay, well, that actually will be worth doing if it's going to be the Rising Stars. Now, how are they breaking down the game, though? Is it going to be like a real game, or is it going to be like that 3-on-3, 4-on-4 thing that we saw last year and the year before? So, and Daytona 500 is on at 11:30. So we may do Daytona 500 and the NBA All Star Game, or maybe we'll end up just doing one, and I'll just watch the other one with Paisley and spend time with her. But we'll figure it out. All right, no worries, no worries. Rustin in the building. What's good? He said Mavs are looking scary. Stadium series. I got you. All right, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. I'm ready for this matchup. Hopefully, we don't get obliterated. Let's go, baby. We need this win. Joey Decord in that. A little homecoming for Maddie and a little homecoming for Joey. Let's go. TD Garden, baby. Let's go. Well, at least the NASCAR, with Daytona 500, it's not at the same time as the NBA All Star game. At least it's on earlier. So they're not going to necessarily overlap unless we have like rain or weather delays with Daytona. So presentation of the colors and all the pregame show information here. All right, I got both of them up here. All right, we'll go here. Hopefully this one will work out good. There we go. Let's get it up in theater mode. There we go. Joey Decord, 36 games, 33 starts, 15, 11, and 9 with a 2.36 GAA, 921 save percentage. Last 5 road starts, 0 and 5, 5 and 0 record. Not good. Got to find a way. Swayman, 29 games, 28 starts, 16, 5, and 7 with a 2.35 GAA, 922 save percentage, and a higher in the ranks. All right, what do we got with the tie here with Hack? It's got some kind of bluish tie with some patterns on it. I don't know if it looked like flowers. I'm not sure if I've ever seen him wear that tie before. Hopefully it's good luck. All right, here we go. I'm not sure. I mean, let me go to this other one. I think I'm going to watch this other broadcast. I think it's going to be a little bit better. I can either watch the Kraken or Bruins broadcast. There we go. Let's go, baby. Judah in the building. What's good? How are you, brother? Should be a good one here tonight between the Kraken and the Bruins. Only thing that we really have going for us, it's a little bit of a homecoming for Maddie B and Joey DeCord being both from Massachusetts. Maddie Bonilla is bringing from Hingham and Joey DeCord from North Andover. I'm not really sure how far away those are from each other. I would imagine, Judah, you would know. Shots on goal, nothing yet. Come on, Kraken. This is going to be a tough matchup, and obviously getting a early lead, to get that momentum would definitely help us. Unless we're going to be playing catch up all day, but we got to definitely have some momentum left over from the last matchup. So hopefully we can get a dub here, but it'll be very difficult. 18 minutes to go in the first period. We just started. One shot on goal for the Bruins, nothing yet for the Kraken. North Andover is an hour and a half west in the middle of the state. Oh, okay. And that's for Joey DeCord. What about Hingham? Where's Hingham at? How far away is that? 25 minutes south of Boston on the South Shore. Oh, okay. So Hingham is closer to Boston then. So it's a little bit more of a homecoming for Maddie then, a little bit closer. I mean, it's still in the state of Massachusetts, so homecoming for both, but as far as being closer to Boston. Come on, Kraken. Can we get a shot on goal? Let's go, baby. Now, I always like to look for those little subtle things, that might be a little extra motivation, for either the opponents or for, our guys. And obviously, Gru did a great job, and I was loving what he was doing yesterday, and it kind of made sense for them to go back to Joey since Philip started it off, got hurt, really wasn't playing well. Joey took the spot. And now it looks like Philip is healthy, and then they can decide, at their discretion and strategy, when they want to go back with Gru. And I don't think any Kraken fan has any problem with Gru getting another opportunity to be in net, especially, as good as he did yesterday. And then hopefully Joey can, find a way to kind of get that hot streak going again, because both of those guys are going to be instrumental if we have any chance of smelling a wild card this season. Both of those guys are going to have to play well, and then the offense will have to feed off those two guys in net. So always good to be able to have two quality pieces in net, just like the Devils and a few other teams, instead of just having one and, hoping that works out. So 2 shots on goal for Boston, nothing for Seattle. Boston in firm control so far at home at TD Garden. Well, Pasta, is leading in all categories. And, obviously I've done a few, games, with the Bruins. I think this is our second one for Judah, as well as just doing it for the Kraken. And then I've watched a few. Obviously you'll know more of the pieces, that are out there, but Pasta leading the team and scoring and goals and assists. And anytime you end up having a, national treasure gem like that, it's definitely going to be tough, to be able to keep up. But if we can maintain and kind of slow him down, that could be a big key in this game. "40 minutes north of Boston." Not on the coast. Yeah, I was gonna say Massachusetts got a lot, going on there. So But I thought it was kind of interesting to see that both were from the area. So I would assume that would mean more motivation, and more, a little bit more oomph, that they're going to give, especially if you're going to be going somewhere where you're from, right? It's not like they're going to be going to Boston many, many times. I believe we're only playing twice this year, right? So, and this is the first matchup this season. 4 shots on goal for the Bruins. Nothing from the Kraken yet. Defense, it's going to be tough. Like I said, passing seems very crisp. The Bruins are aggressive. They're at home. We're definitely a little tentative out there, but I like what I'm seeing from Decord and net so far. He's got his head on a swivel. He knows how important this game is. Oh, good save. Damn it. And there it is. 1-0 Bruins. There was one shot, then another, and what can you do, in that? Even if that was Grew, that was going to be a goal. Pasta. Ah, damn it. I mean, especially when you got guys, that are just, they're swinging, 1, 2, 3. I mean, once you get, 1 or 2 or 3 guys by the net and they're all swinging, I mean, how many shots are you really going to be able to deflect before, that rebound, off that rebound, someone's going to end up scoring at some point. They're way too close. They're 2 feet away from Joey. What can you do? 1-0 Bruins. That was way too fast. And there it is. Pasta with the goal, which I figured with the snapshot, huh? 1-0 Pasta. Well, I guess slowing him down, they didn't get the memo. 1-0 Bruins. We need a pasta. Can we get a pasta? I want one. That was way too fast. Nice job, David. 1-0. Jared McCann with a tripping on top of that. That's tough. We'll give the Bruins some love. Well, yesterday's game, the pace of the game was perfect. That was like the best that we've seen in a long, long time. We just want to be able to stay physical. You want to have the passing be crisp. Also getting, out to an early lead helps, obviously the mentals instead of being down 1-0, 2-0 or 3-0 like we were against the Devils and we already kind of gave up and the game was over in the first period. It was really cool to see Grew and net and then Maddie getting the first goal. And that never happened. So, didn't happen today, but that doesn't mean that we're going to get, blown out. But, this looks like a game that Joey would probably end up giving up, 3 goals or more, just giving the respect to Boston. But, in his defense, even if we had Grew in net, I think the same result is going to happen. I don't think that, if we had Grew play, he wouldn't have given up that goal. They're 2 feet away, and when they're slapping at it, bump. I mean, what are you going to do? Wappa. I mean, eventually they're going to get it in, and that's what happens. So too much wappa. 8 shots on goal for the Bruins. Wappa. 0 for the Kraken. Can we get a shot on goal yet? Damn it. All right, we got to make sure we get out of this power play alive. Who are your favorite players, Judah, on the team? I mean, besides Pasta. I mean, it's easy to say Pasta. Like when you have a superstar, of course, that's going to be like the favorite player for most people, just like with Mariners and me and like Julio. But that doesn't mean I don't like JP Crawford and Cal Raleigh, big dumper. Like I love those guys and George Kirby, and Bryce Miller. So it's like, I got my guys. Gino was a part of that list, but we traded him away. But, I still got JP, still got, Cal Raleigh, and obviously everyone's fan favorite for Seattle, Julio Rodriguez. God, this is brutal. We don't even have a shot on goal. But at least right now, I don't see like the shoulders shrug, like, it's over. Kind of like I felt with that Devils matchup. I mean, I think we kind of understood the assignment going in and how tough this game was going to be. Jake DeBrusk. Pasta. Come on, give Joey some help. If you're not going to give your goalie help, I mean, how do you expect to win the game? You got to have some defensemen there and guys close, to the players that are trying to score right in front of Joey. I mean, you don't want to have 3 Bruins and just Joey, and then all of a sudden they're firing off 8 shots between the 3 of them, and you think he's going to stop all 8? I mean, come on. This is getting ridiculous. 9 shots on goal, 0 for Seattle. That's a little worrisome here. We're definitely playing a little bit on our heels, and Boston is very good at home. 10 shots on goal for the Bruins. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's nice. He's nice. Well, anytime you get someone in the NHL that leads in all 3 categories, they're normally a superstar. It's very rare that you have someone that leads all 3 categories not be a superstar, unless it's just a shitty team and that's the best player on the shitty team. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's like the Nathan McKinnons of the world and whatnot. So, all right, this one's fucking up a little bit. Let me go here. Let me see if this one works a little bit better. How about you? There we go. This one has better picture. The Root Sports broadcast is better than the Bruins podcast or broadcast, excuse me. Come on, baby. Less than 12 minutes to go in the first period, 1-0 Bruins. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Where you're really, really good in the regular season, and then you just face a team that might be just hotter going into the playoffs. So they're not better than you; they're just hotter and healthier. And then sometimes you just play like shit, and then you get eliminated. It sucks, but Boston with a penalty. All right, there's the delayed penalty. Pasta, pasta, pasta. 1-0 Bruins. Golly. Let's get there. Brandon Carlo with the high sticking. There we go. Yes. 1-1. Kraken. Let's go. Yes. Yes. There we go. Jordan Eberle. Yes, baby. We needed that. Bad. Bad. Fuck yeah, we needed that. Hell yeah, baby. Off the rebound, too. That's rare for someone to shoot, get their rebound, the same guy, and then have him to get it in. I mean, we haven't had too many opportunities of that this season. So let me get it in here. Oh, let me go there. You look the wrong way. Bang, bang. Let's go. Nice way to stay with it, Jordan. Way to be electric to keep us in the game. 1-1. We're knotted up. Fuck yeah. Louis likes that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Bang, 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 bang. Let's go. Yeah. And also, I think a lot of times, again, when you're one of the best in the world, when you're leading in a lot of those categories, I mean, you're going to be the main guy. So there we go. Yeah. Well, most of the time, the guy that's the best scorer might not be the best passer. On top of that, might be one of the top, few. But usually, you'll have like each guy will be like a specialist on what they are good at. Unless you just get that all around athlete that's just good on everything. 11 shots on goal for the Bruins, 3 for the Kraken. Yeah. Yeah, goal scorers aren't really looking to pass. They're looking to get the pass and get the assist. So, but I mean, there are going to be certain pieces on teams out there that will be good at almost everything. But I guess it just depends on how good the team is. Are they a playoff team or are they one of the bottom feeders? And you know, but when you're an all-star type of player, yeah. 9:35 left in the first period. 1-1. Kraken tied up with the Bruins. Let's go. $1. 99 to go. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $1 holla. 99 to go. Let me know what you want to do for a photo or photos. You want Caitlin Clark? She about to break that record. $1 hair. $99 hairs to go. Yeah, I think for me, the one thing that I notice about the best players, that are in the world, if you watch on the NHL side, even if you're not necessarily paying attention to all the assists and the scoring, it's the guys that can handle the puck in between traffic and they're fast and they have really good, puck skills. Like when you start seeing guys like that, weave in and out full speed in between three defenders and then still can get a good shot off. Those are the guys that are the best in the world. You'll see guys like Nathan McKinnon, and it almost makes you like kind of wonder like how the hell did they do that? Like how could you be so fast with the skates, have so many sticks and bodies in front of you? You can weave in between and not lose the puck in that time period, and then find a way to weave your way in between two or three guys full speed, not lose the puck, and then find a way to get one-on-one or one-on-two, and then get a good top shelf goal or whatever it may be. That's usually the one thing that I think that kind of stands out, at least for the superstars. You'll see guys on the stat sheet, oh, he got a hat trick. Oh, he got 2 goals. He got 2 assists. But if you're actually watching the games, that's the one thing I think that stands out from the superstars is that when you see that, type of maneuver, And it may not happen very often, maybe once or twice a game, but when you see it, you'll definitely remember it. And not many guys can do that either. That can be that skilled, with the puck. So just like in soccer and football, there's only going to be so many that are going to have that skill set with scoring and passing and being able to juke the defenders on the fly with the ball skills or the puck skills. So, all right, I'll get you some Caitlin Clark here in just a second. That's a big one too. Guys that don't get hurt often, because you're only valuable if you're on the ice, right? So that's what we need. You know what I mean? We need players like that, for us to be able to take the next level. Like with the goalies and Decord and Grew, if we can get those guys to ramp up and play better, fine. We don't necessarily need another goalie like maybe today, but maybe in the future we may need one, to add to that group or to replace one of those guys, in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Who knows, right? And then obviously just getting better centers, forwards, and defensemen to add on to what we have. If we ever want to be considered one of the top 5 teams in the NHL and actually a Stanley Cup threat, we're going to need to build the roster quite a bit better than what it is sitting at right now. So, hi, Dalahala, appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, Rex on Rex, a little cactus jack. Bang, 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 bang. Let me know what you want for photos. You want to have Connor Bedard or whatever you're feeling. Obviously not on our team, but, part of the NHL family. And, Blackhawk games are boring without him. So if he's playing, and even if you don't give a shit about the Blackhawks, you might turn it on. If he's not playing, no one's turning it on. So unless you're a Blackhawk fan. So I'm definitely going to be paying attention to a lot of the Blackhawk games moving forward just to see what he can do. Anytime you're going to be labeled, a phenom coming in, I know he's not going to score every game, but just to be able to see him out there, in his rookie year and then see the progression as he gets older, it will be very cool to see. All right, 7 minutes and counting, less than 7 minutes and counting. We're knotted up at 1. Kraken got their shots on goal caught up. They were at 8-0. Now it's 9-6. So I like that. Matt in the building, always working on play calls. I like it, man. Yeah. Sometimes you got to have an annoying ass on your team, though. Sometimes you need to have one of those guys, that's just a pest. That like if he's on your team, you love him, but if you're going against him, you hate him. It's like a Draymond Green type of guy. Patrick Beverly. It's like, yeah, if he's on your team, cool, but if you're playing against him, no thanks. Wow. Oh, look at this right here. We flipped it up and he almost tomahawked it in. Wow. Yeah, we'll do some Connor and we'll do some Sidney Crosby, Sid the Kid. Let's do that. Even though he's not necessarily a kid anymore, but we will. Once we end up going to a commercial break, we'll get some Caitlin Clark up, and then we'll get some Connor and Sid. Let's do it. Great choices. We can always showcase other players from other teams. I'd be lying if I said that I don't enjoy watching superstars like Nathan MacKinnon and a few others in the league. Of course, we're going to rep our players and our team to the fullest, but we can't act like if Nathan MacKinnon didn't have a chance to come to Seattle that we wouldn't be on board with it. It's like we need guys like that. I want to be able to have a guy like that. And MacKinnon is one of those guys that does those magical things on the ice that only a few guys can do. But if you're looking at like the top 5 or 6 players overall, it'll be a conversation. What would you what would you say? Based off, you can look it up on Google or on your computer or whatnot. I'm not expecting everyone to know all the answers, but if someone had to put a top 5 list, not including goalies, right? We can do that next. But what would we say right now? And most people would have the top 5 or 6, on the list, but maybe not in the same order. What would we say right now? Who are the 5 best players, centers, forwards, defensemen, doesn't matter, top 5 in the NHL right now? And then what would we say the top 5 goalies are? I want to kind of see what you guys are thinking perspective-wise. And obviously some of us are going to be watching a little bit more hockey than others. Again, we're done with football, so there's going to be more opportunities for this. But a lot of us love baseball too, so that's where a lot of our time is going to be spent. But I'd like to get your point of view from you guys in the room. Shout out to all the people, on Twitter/X as well. Come on, baby. 5 minutes to go. Yeah, you guys were hella dominant, kind of like a Dallas Cowboy thing where you're like really, really dominant during the year, but you were even more dominant than the Cowboys because at one point in the year, you guys were the number one record. You were the number one team. But again, sometimes you don't want to peak too early. And again, it's about being hot and healthy. And that's just how it goes in the NBA, NHL, NFL, MLB, especially in the MLB and the NHL and the NFL. In the NBA, you kind of know, who's going to kind of win. You kind of have that idea, and only injuries can really change a lot. But with the NHL and the MLB, and obviously, doing these things like, the Super Bowl or that run, sometimes, it's not the best team in the world that ends up winning or the team that has the best record in the regular season. A lot of times it's whoever hot and healthy, and they still have to be a championship caliber team. Let's not kid ourselves. You're not going to just be like the worst team, and then all of a sudden you're going to end up being, a champion at the end of the day, unless you get hot and healthy and you're the worst playoff team, but you're in the tourney, and then you just find that magical season. So come on, Bjorky. Yeah. But with the Cowboy fans, a lot of them are either delusional or stupid, where it's like they think it's going to change and things are going to be different. But, doing the same thing over and over and over again or making a minor change. And again, at the end of the day, for them to be able to be considered, winners and to be able to accomplish something, I really do think Jerry Jones has got to sell the team or get rid of the team. That's never happening. And if he dies, his sons are going to run the team. So that's never happening. That same type of, you know, uh, strategy on the way they do things, I don't think it's going to change. And then you got McCarthy, who's not a good coach. And let's be honest, Dak is a great regular season quarterback, but in the postseason, he hasn't been able really to figure it out. So at some point, you can be labeled a top 10 quarterback, but if you keep losing and losing and losing in that type of fashion, at some point, no one's going to care. It's like every time you tell us this is our year, and every year we tell you back, no, it's not. And again, that's a bad thing when not only you probably have to change the head coach, you had your defensive coordinator, which was probably one of the better things on your team. He's gone. He's a head coach now. You brought Zimmer in. I'm not confident in that. Dak, I'm not confident in you, in the postseason. Regular season, fine, but postseason, not so much, And then McCarthy's garbage, So I don't know. I think you guys are better than the Cowboys, but again, it's all about, if you're not very good and then you get really, really good, sometimes, you end up playing a team that has a better coach, that's been there, done that, or they're just hotter and healthier, more physical. And then you get kind of punched in the mouth and you just never recover. Like someone sucker punches you, and instead of fighting back, you're kind of like blacked out. You're kind of KO'd. And by the time you regain yourself, it's too little too late once you make your run. So, but I hope that you guys do some big things. It's not like Boston and Pittsburgh are on the top of the NHL mountain, and a lot of times, we had good players, from those places in like the 80s and 90s, but it's definitely more difficult, even if you are one of like the, legend fan bases, from back in the day with like Pittsburgh and Boston, everyone knows Lemieux and Yager and those type of people, Ray Bork, we know those guys. All right, let me get some photos up here. Yeah, but as long as it doesn't happen over and over and over again, I think that you guys will be all right as far as Bruins fans are concerned. .320 left in the first period. Come on, baby, 1-1. I like that. You know what else I like? I don't really like the NBA that much, even though it was my favorite. I loved college hoops when I was a kid and the NBA. And even though the college hoops for men's and women's isn't like that popular, as far as like superstars coming into the league, uh, this is going to be one. Sabrina Ionescu from the Ducks. I feel that if we didn't have COVID, I think the Ducks women's would have won the Natty that year. I really do. And Sabrina has already showed how good she is on the Liberty, and she's already one of the top 5 players, in the WNBA, and that doesn't surprise me one bit. And I feel that Caitlin Clark will also be one of the top 5 players, and you never know, depending on how long she plays. She could end up being the best player in WNBA history, or one of the top 2 or 3. I don't think it's that crazy to think if she plays for 15 or 20 years, stays healthy, dominates like she has at Iowa, who's to say that she can't be one of the top 5 of all time when it's all said and done? So there's definitely a big hype factor with her, and I'm going to watch all her shit in the tourney, because honestly, there is no bigger player in the college basketball tournament in March Madness than her. She is bigger than any male name that's in the tourney this year. That's saying something as a female. Not only are you the best female in college hoops, and you were awesome last year, maybe you were the best last year also, but then not on top of that, you are more entertaining to watch than the men's. Now, are the men's going to go out of their way to watch her? Only a few of us will, the ones that actually know talent, and we're not going to hate on her because she's a girl and a female. I know how good she is. I know what her memorabilia is going for. I've watched her games. She plays like an elite dude, but she's just a female. That's the only way that you can really state it, because sometimes she even plays better than the elite females back in the day. Like, she's playing like a Steph Curry, nothing to go against Cheryl Swoops and Rebecca Lobo and Lisa Leslie, and Tina Thompson and those, no disrespect there, but it's like I feel that her game could maybe even be higher than some of the old school legends who started the game. Rebecca Lobo, Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie. How do I remember these names? I don't know, but I do. 1-1, Kraken, Bruins. A minute to go. She's good. I mean, hell, if I'm going to go out of my way to watch her, I would say that's probably a sign that she's a superstar. Like, I wouldn't be fucking vouching for her if I didn't think, if I didn't watch her, and B, if I didn't know. It's like no one thinks, oh, she's average, or well, I mean, we're talking about not only the best player, and maybe in this little small generation, but definitely one that has super, super big potential. Like, I would be super shocked if she ends up being like a bust. I don't think there's any possibility of her being a bust at all. She's so good. She's so fucking skilled on everything. Passing, shooting, rebounding. I mean, she could do it all. And then that's a pretty magical thing, though, too. When's the last time that a female superstar basketball player, right, ended up being bigger than the men's? I don't know if I can even name a time. I mean, besides, with Reggie Miller and his sister, back then, obviously, Sarah Miller and Reggie, they had a thing going there. But it's been a minute. Can't wait to watch. I can't wait to see if she ends up doing like some magic, like, one of the games she puts up 40, or if she puts up 50, or what if she ends up putting up like 60, of like 60 out of 88 points or something. That's a big deal, for a female hooper. End of the first period. We're knotted up at 1. All right, let's get some more photos up. We'll get some Crosby up here too. Now, am I going to go out of my way to watch every game that she plays in? Hell no. I mean, it's hard for me to even watch basketball to begin with. But if I am going to watch basketball, men's or women's or whatever, I better be watching some greatness. I ain't going to go out of my way to watch just some average player or just some anybody, I got to be able to see something maybe I've never seen before. I want to see something special. Do you hear it? Yes, I do. Caitlin Clark. Going to be a household name pretty soon. It's awesome. All right, let's get some other photos up here for Megan. Yeah, but Steph Curry, when we see him, it's like we expect him to hit like 10 or 12 out of 15, which is not realistic, but he's so good. We just assume that he'll be able to do something crazy, and make more than 50%, which most guys can only make 20 or 30%. So, yeah, and Curry and Sabrina going at it will be very interesting in the All-Star shooting. I kind of like the fact that she's doing it, and wouldn't it be wild if she actually ends up beating him? Because they're both very, very good. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, Sabrina can win a shooting contest. Like I said, I've watched her, high school at Oregon. You know what I mean? Like, her and Justin Herbert held it down for us as far as having athletes, around that, like, COVID time. But, I mean, you would assume Steph Curry will win, but who's to say that what happens if Sabrina ends up winning? You know what I mean? And again, I think Caitlin Clark is another one of those people that once she ends up making it, she will be in the three-point contest with the men in the future if they decide to do that. And I think she could end up possibly winning. That's saying something. You're not going to say that unless you really mean it. Special players, Sabrina and Caitlin. Let's try to find Sid the Kid. Chicago hasn't started yet. Please remind me at 5:30 for 45 minutes that the Blackhawks are playing the Penguins, and I want to be able to turn that on. And I want to watch both of those at the same time because I want to watch Sidney Crosby and I want to watch Connor Bedard. I like watching greatness. Yeah. Red Sox are funner to watch than the Patriots, though. Because even if the Red Sox lose, it's just a funner pace, and you're going to steal some games, you know what I mean? With the Patriots, you kind of know what you're getting, and we'll see what happens with their draft if they get a quarterback. But, I mean, they're rebuilding completely now post-Brady and Gronk and Belichick now. But, even when the Red Sox suck, it's like the Mariners. Even when the Mariners suck, they're still fun. They're still like the baseball fans are like, we're built like strong. You know what I mean? Like, no matter, like, we can literally go 0-162 and there's still going to be some juice. You know what I mean? You go 0-17 or 0-16 with the Patriots, the juice, it's gone. It's been gone for a long time. But you can still get up for Red Sox baseball more than Patriot football. Same thing with Mariners. Like, no matter what happens, like, I can still get excited and have fun watching. It's like a connection you have with baseball, And see, the thing is, you got Tatum and Brown, but Tatum and Brown might not be good enough. It's like you might need to be able to have more. The bench, better supporting cast, maybe a better coach. So it's like you're going to be close, but are you going to be able to actually get it done? There's still needs like to be more to be done for them to be holding the trophy at the end of the day. Like, I think that they are, could be one of the top 16 in the NBA for the next 5 or 10 years, but that doesn't say a whole lot if you're like number 6 every year or number 5. At some point, you have to be number 1, number 2, and try to get it done. So the talent is there, but it just seems like something is missing with the roster, and maybe coaching too. Just me keeping it real. And I know you probably think the same too. So. All right, baby. I like this one. Hopefully that doesn't give anybody some epilepsy or anything with the flashing, but I like stuff to be different, and I'm always going to be able to try to find all the greatness for y'all. 1-1 intermission. We'll go through photos for the people that donated. Shout out to the people on Twitter/X that are watching as well. It's been a good one so far. Leading off with Pasta, assisted by How about Zutta and Charlie McAvoy? Costa at the 4:54 mark, and then Jordan Eberle with the power play, assisted by Oliver Bjorky. And guess who else? Matty Benias in his hometown state of where? Massachusetts. 1-1 Bruins Kraken. All right, let me get some more photos up, and I'll get some more when you come back, if you come back. Let me know. I'm going to be posting them up, and I'll have them on here. I got you. Sprinkling them. Okay. Let me know. And then, like I said, I always will get pictures for whenever they're going to be here. And, we'll see. I'll hold it down for us here in the stream for the Kraken fans. Have a good stream. Yeah, well, it's not only huge, but also, for the coaching staff, and then just post Brady, Gronk, and Belichick. You know what I mean? But at this point, it can't get any worse than what it was with Belichick when the team was last place, and you already know that you weren't going to be able to go to the playoff. So if you're going to have something brand new, I mean, you got to be able to win. The goal is you want to win more than 4 games. Ultimately, you want to try to get to 10, but 10's probably too unrealistic, right? Even if you end up hitting the quarterback pick on, right on the head, even if it's, Jaden Daniels or Drake May, you're going to need a lot. Like, you need quarterback, running back, wide receivers like a motherfucker, tight ends, right? Even though you have some, right? But let's be real. Offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, secondary, corner, like special teams, everything needs upgraded. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes. Jet sweep, deuce right, close 47, one Swifty left. Jet sweep with the wide receiver. Those fucking lights up. Eberle. Good job, Jordan. Gotta get some Connor Bedard. I miss watching him. Anytime you're a phenom, I'll tune in. If you're a phenom, like Wemby, am I going to go out of my way and watch every Wemby game? No, but I will watch a little, more than I would, just because I want to be able to see you do something maybe I've never seen before. And I feel that way with Connor Bedard too. Like, I feel sometimes like you might be able to see something that you haven't seen, or maybe you have seen it, but it's been a minute. So. Kraken. All right, let me see some Connor Bedard. I like Bedard's swag too. Like, he's very confident. He's young, but he knows he's gonna have to go through his growing pains. But Anytime you can be in a position to be like the LeBron James of your generation or one of those guys that, like if he ends up not being a Hall of Famer, it would be kind of shocking. Like that's, the expectations are very high, not only to be a good player, but a great player, an elite player at some point in your career, top 5 player at some point in your career, hopefully top 3, top 2, or top 1 player, multiple All-Star games, hopefully at least a championship, one, either there or somewhere else, and then Hall of Fame. So, we had those same expectations for this guy, and he lived up to the billing. Same thing with Alexander Ovechkin. So this is the next in line after those two, supposedly, right? So that's exciting. So, even if you don't give a shit about the Caps, the Penguins, or the Blackhawks, anytime you watch one of those games or just a little highlight package from those guys, realize those guys are at the end. Soak in a little bit of what they have if you're bored, that way that you can at least have a memory instead of just, no memories besides, anything that you saw on Twitter or X or on Instagram. It's nice to be able to watch it for yourself. Bedard. And I haven't really felt this way about a player in a minute since probably Crosby. Ovechkin was a little bit more like, I'm going to body check you and I'll score goals, but I'm, going to be more like an angry, like defenseman type of mentality, and then with Sidney Crosby, obviously, center, scoring, just trying to be like a Lemieux, Gretzky type of player. And now we have Connor Bedard, the baby face. True, but we have the Daytona 500. So if you weren't into NASCAR, then it would hurt a lot more. But since you love it as much as I do, it's not going to be as big of a deal. You don't give a shit about the NBA All-Star festivities. Most people don't, but we'll still tune in a little bit to see what's going on. And then, at the very least, some of the games and then the All-Star game and then Daytona 500 is going to be sick. So just to be able to hear the engines going and obviously if you have a favorite driver, it's like, is it going to be Chase? Are you going to be able to win races? Are you going to be able to be the driver you were or not? So I'm excited to see what happens. Plus, I think it's cool that I like the announcers and I like the build-up on NASCAR. I feel that they have a good pregame show. They might actually have one of the best pregame shows, post-game, and in between in sports. Like, I know it's NASCAR, but if you compare it to like baseball and basketball and football, it actually is one of the best that is out there. I don't think people give it enough credit. That like NASCAR broadcasting is awesome. Yeah, like for the most part, are there guys that we like more than others? Yeah, like I like Michael Waltrip. Some people don't like him, but I like him. I like Dale Jr. I like the certain pieces that you have on Fox and on NBC, and I feel that they do a fucking good job, and it makes it more interesting to watch the race. Overall, I feel like if they didn't have anybody good, I feel that not as many people would watch. But since the broadcasting is like one of the best in sports, out of all the major sports, you're getting more people tuned in, so. Fucking JJ Jimmy Johnson. And my boy JJ Jimmy. Yeah, but Jimmy Racing, though. Jimmy Racing, some races this year. I'm a Dale Earnhardt guy. That's just, so, Intimidator, did he wreck some guys? Yeah, but he was also really skilled, and, even from back with the Wrangler, and just each, and then obviously, we know all with all the famous with the black, number 3. And for me, it's like I like father-son combos. So, like, again, with me and Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr., Dale Jr., Dale Sr. But sometimes when I have, like, that father-son, it reminds me of, like, my dad. So it's like I like to be able to see, like, I like to see father-son combos kick ass, and I like to see them make history. And I know it's hard, sometimes for that to happen, or you're living in your dad's shadow, or sometimes the son is better than the dad, sometimes the dad is better. But I don't know, like for me, I love seeing that shit in wrestling and NASCAR and in fucking sports. Like, they pass it down, in the general. I think that legacy shit is cool as fuck to me. So, like, I'm always gonna root for that, I got a lot of Dale Jr. and Dale Senior memorabilia. Yeah, bro, you gotta catch up. Once you got a fan, you gotta keep up with him. If that's your guy, you gotta, you know what I mean, and then look on the schedule to see when he's racing. Now, he's not going to be racing full time anymore. Like you're going to be getting these guys that are retired. Like the Tony Stewarts and the Jimmy Johnsons and the Jeff Gordons. Like they're legit. Are they going to be able to win a race? Probably not, but if you just want to be able to have them in a couple just for namesake, I don't know, kind of cool, rather than some jobber Mike Smith that no one's ever heard of and he's on the bottom, or you'd rather have a legend down there. I'd rather have a legend, Well, yeah. I mean, you got to think anyone that's in the sport world that knows anything about talent, there's a reason why, like with Kobe Bryant and some of these, like, you pay attention, you know what I mean? And also with him being a girl dad, obviously trying to, and that's the saddest shit of it all. If Kobe Bryant didn't end up dying in that helicopter crash, Kobe, right? I think women's sports would even be higher than what it is now, and he would be able to push that shit into superstardom, like getting more money, more TV time, and like him showing up at more games, him being kind of like, the Taylor Swift of the NFL, but Kobe Bryant for like women's basketball in a cool way though. So because people wouldn't be hating on Kobe, if anything, they'd be like, oh my god, like Kobe's showing up to like all of Sabrina's games, or Kobe's at the Caitlin Clark game. It's like to have awareness to be like, yo, it's not men's. I get that, but like this women's, like right now in this time period, it matches up to some of the men play. No, yes, and then once you are able to recognize that, that you're actually getting a pretty good skill set there, and it's actually entertaining. There's going to be levels of men basketball, not entertaining. Women's, not entertaining. But if you got the players to make it entertaining, we want to recognize that, right? Hell, I'd be there. That's a moment in history. Everyone else sees it on their Instagram timeline, or Twitter/X. If you're rich, you're there. And it shows you too. You can have a dad bod at some point in your life and still be a superstar. Tom Brady and AKA Patrick Mahomes. You don't got to have a 6-pack, 8-pack, 10-pack. You got it up here. You got good coaching. You might have a little bit of a flabby body, but it don't matter. If you got the arm and you got the skill set up here, you can get a little bit flabby. You can enjoy your food, not have the, steroid-looking body and whatnot. Greatness comes in all sizes and shapes, baby. Oh, wow. They were just showing two fans. One of the Bruins players throwing a puck, and then the girl, a Bruins fan with the vest, she didn't get it in time and missed it. And then I think the Kraken girl got it, and then they were the Boston Bruin fan wasn't too happy with that, and they start to talk shit, and that was intended for me. But like again, when a puck goes up and someone throws it up to you, or it's a baseball, right? You have that opportunity where they're throwing it at you or maybe for you, but if you don't get it, like you know what I mean, it's not like you're entitled to it. I mean, it's up for grabs. You got to have good enough hand-eye coordination to be able to get a baseball when it's in the air, or a puck. And that's just how it goes, man. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Remind me in 26 minutes for Bedard and Crosby, please. Someone has that responsibility. I need that. I need to watch that. Okay, and that'll be electric. And what if Crosby and Bedard score in the game? Boom shakalaka. Bruins. Pasta. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. It's got to limit pasta. I love pasta. Come on, Wenberg. See, when we can get going with the Kraken, it's like, sometimes it's not like the most like famous players or well-known players, but it's like you can get like Maddie with like Yanni Gord and like Wenberg. Like those aren't even necessarily like the best players on the team with like Bjorky on another line, and he was the all-star this year. But sometimes you just got to get the right combination of three dudes in a line, and they are like, they vibe off each other, and then you end up getting good opportunities off of that. That's what we need to be able to kind of figure out, and then the rotation of those guys. Like, you got to put them in like working at a call center and for sales. Sometimes certain people vibe off each other, so that way you take your desk with you and then you go in another room. A lot of the elite sales places here in the Pacific Northwest, they'll do it like that, where you're not going to have the same people, same 3 or 4 people in the room. You're going to rotate because you got to be able to find the people that will motivate the others and vibe off that energy. Not everyone's energy is the same. That is big fact. 17 shots on goal for the Bruins, Judah. 10 for the Kraken, O-Dog. And I like our chances, but I know it's going to be tough. "17 shots on goal for the Bruins, 11 for the Kraken." I got the screen mega big. Oh, shit. Come on, baby. Good for her. Break all the records. Her autograph stuff is at a premium right now, and I imagine it will just only go up in value. Like she might be like literally the only female athlete that I would actually buy a card of, like graded and like as an investment piece. They're like even for Sabrina, I wouldn't buy a card, but for her, like her upside is potentially even higher than Sabrina, and that's crazy. I hope both of them make the Hall of Fame. And not only that, just get the recognition that that they're just as good or better than even some of the ladies in the last 20 to 30 years. That would be saying a lot. Like actually having some generational type of talent. But you don't see it that often in sports, but maybe like in women's basketball, like this is the time that we're seeing it. The bubble of players. Paige Buekas. She got skills. I like to watch her play. There's certain people, they'll play like the dudes. They got the crossovers, they got the fucking swag. They're gonna play like street ball style, and that's what separates a lot of those. Or you got mad handles and you can shoot or do everything. Icing. Yeah, sad with all the Kansas City stuff. I can't even celebrate a title without people being crazy. Unfortunate. Rest in peace with the one that passed, and then all the others up to almost 30 that got hurt. Prayers up. Less than 15 minutes to go in the second period. We're knotted up at 117 shots on goal for the Bruins. 1-1-11 for Seattle. I need to see some energy. We got to get them into a power play. And then Joey, like I said, we got Joey and Maddie. This is a homecoming. So DeCord has only given up 1 goal, and we're playing the Bruins. So I would say that's pretty good. right? Sometimes we'll give up 3 in the first like 10 minutes in the first period. So that's good. 1-1, low scoring. I'll take it. But when you got Pasta out there being Pasta, it's superstar leading in assists, goals, and points. So, and he already had the first one, so you already know he's either going to score another or he'll assist the person that gets the goal, more than likely. Come on, baby. Yeah, but some of her autograph graded stuff, is already going for high dollar amounts. Some of the raw cards that aren't graded, are going for, three, four, five, six, $700. And then if it's got the autograph and it's the rookie, and then, graded stuff that's like 9.5 BGS gem mint. I've seen some of her stuff that's going for like 1,000 to like 5,000, and I think there's going to be stuff that's even higher than that. Like if you get a 1 of 1 and she has got an on card auto, not a sticker auto, and it's got a cool pose of her, and depending on the card brand, like if it's Bowman or something, yeah, you might end up getting something like that being worth like $10,000 from a female basketball player. That's that, in the card market, it just depends on what's hot at the moment. Like they have a Tom Brady Expos card that he signed that you could get in packs, and those were going for mucho dollars, over 10 grand, graded if you had a high grade with one of them. So it's crazy how much money is involved in the sports cards, but if you have the right card at the right time, you could be rich for sure. Yeah, but for a female card to be that coveted, they're like, oh, she's breaking the records. Maybe the trajectory of her is very, very high. Like, what if she ends up being like the best female ever at basketball? Like, all of a sudden, you have a card that could be worth 1,000, that could be worth 10,000. Because there's going to be collectors, regardless if they give a shit about her or not, that they know that she's good, she's dominating, and then the more she dominates, the more money that card is worth. And nice stop by Joey. But like for me, I'm a toy collector and a card collector. And yeah, I think, for her, I've seen enough of what I've seen that, yeah, if I had extra money, and I had, money to invest in buying one of her cards and just, stashing it and then just waiting until it goes up to decide, what I want to do with it or whatnot. But yeah, I could definitely see a big leap in value. There's not very many people. It's like if you saw the Otani vibe before, imagine all those people that have all these Otani rookies and what they're worth, and then what they're going to be worth once he starts winning World Series with the Dodgers. Like Otani's, it's like sometimes you just have to have like that Bitcoin, like that brain. You have to like be able to anticipate greatness and kind of okay foreshadow. This guy's good. This guy's good. This guy's good. But who's the guy that can leap into superstardom that not everyone sees yet? And if you can guess right and then invest in those people, that's how you end up getting rich, rich. Shohei Otani rookies. That'll take care of your mental health. Take care of that too. Let's go. So what are her records? Type in the chat the records. Like, what is she? What is it like? Career numbers, like based on everyone else. Like, because the more stuff that she accomplishes, the more people are going to tune in, and the more popular she's going to get. And she might be able to be the person that makes the brand like a little bit more popular, so that way they get a little bit more attention. But again, it's going to take superstars for that to happen. And if Kobe was alive, he would have been able to push that in the most positive direction we've ever seen. 100%. Crazy too, because like living in Oregon, a lot of us, we have to be anti-Kobe because Blazer-Laker rivalry, because he was so good and beat the Blazers so often. But you get to a point where you just realize greatness. And I think a lot of those people that hated Kobe in the playing days, now really love him and respect him and actually like rock him. It's so unfortunate with the, helicopter incident and whatnot. Rest in peace, Kobe. But I feel that he's got more people that were haters of him to turn and shift to be like fans of him and appreciate him more than any athlete in sports. It's not only who he was on and off the court, and then what he did afterwards, and then obviously how he died. That is a perception too. So. 1,000 assists, 3,500 points, and over 800 rebounds. And that's what, number one in college basketball history? Is that like number one overall? What about, some of the GOATs before her? Like, where does it stand? We have a homestand against the Red Wings, then the Canucks and the Wild, then the Bruins, then the Penguins, then the Oilers. That's going to be tough. Bruins, Penguins, Oilers, fuck. 10 minutes to go in the second period. How many years did she play? Like how many physical years are we talking for her career? Did she play 4 or 5 years there? Based off if like when you redshirt or freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, how many years did she accumulate the stats in? Was it 4? We're gonna limit pasta. I like when records are broken. And it's just going to make her get bigger and bigger in the turning. Because like I said, though, if you're marketing something, and it's like the men's, it's the turning of the men's, it sells itself. But to get people to like want to watch the women's and understand like what it could be, you promote her as, if you were going to do it, like this is the best women's basketball player possibly on earth right now, or one of these, even compared to the professionals. So it's like, if you have someone that is that talented as like one of the best in the world, if you market it that way, that's how you get the eyeballs on there. I mean, us sports heads know, but if you really want to get the masses, it's all about being able to promote the people at the right time when they actually deserve to be promoted. Like the guy or girl is, dominating, right? Give them that pub. Like, make that fucking spear all a Caitlin Clark and a fucking basketball. And like, it's like you gotta promote properly. That spear ball is a good promoter. That's what I would be doing. I'd be getting all the other millionaires out there, and I'd be like, all right, well, we got to make the fucking spear ball because that's gonna get enough attention right there, even if it's just that one spot. But it will be seen. And you can't miss it. So. Yeah. Also, like consistency. It's all about how many years that you can play. If you stay, and then the consistency. If you get better, if you make other people better. Like essentially, this is what the person that's had like arguably the number one career of a woman ever. So why? It's like we have to make sure that you're promoting it that way. And this is going to be like one of the best women ever, not just like this year or maybe a couple years. Like maybe ever, like one of these could be. I don't think that people would be surprised either way if she ended up being like the best, or if she was top 5 of all time. I mean, maybe you weren't the number 1 overall, but maybe injuries or something. Hopefully, she doesn't have injuries. That's a big part so far of her success. She hasn't had a lot of injuries, because season-ending injury could not only the rehab, but sometimes you're not the same player after a big injury. So. I got 11 minutes until Bedard and Crosby. We're doing Taco Bell nachos. Good choice. Dan Lanning went to the game. Dan Lanning's wife is a Chiefs fan. Right, there's going to be bandwagon ones, and there's going to be ones from back in the day. There's going to be so many. It's just the reality of how it's going to go. Like when New England was on top, there was plenty of people that ended up being New England fans. Having no business of being a New England fan, but hell, when you got Brady, Gronk, and Belichick, and you're winning. So. Hopefully they go. I don't know what's the ranking for the team this year. Like how far can they go? Can they make it to the Final Four, or are they not good enough to make it as a Final Four as a team besides her? Pierre-Edouard Bellemare activated from IL from the lower body. I like that. Yeah, I hope she keeps dominating because, like I said, basketball right now overall is like really garbage. But the one bright spot is her, So that's like at least the one peak of interest is that you got arguably the best woman basketball player statistically. So at least there's something in basketball besides Wemby that you can get excited about, even if you don't give a shit about either one. So at least we're blessed with that. We got two possible generational, game-changing people that could be, a staple in everyone's, mind down the road. But we know Wemby's special. He's crazy good. One thing that's going to hold him back is injuries. I like to see Clark and Sabrina do a three-point contest, though. We'll get that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like there's all, even Giannis isn't must-see TV, or the Joker. No one gives a shit. Like, oh, Giannis, he's good. Embiid, yeah, but it's not like, oh my God, I have to watch this player. No, it's like, unless you have like that freakish height and that ability, and you're like a LeBron James, or there's something we've never seen like Wemby, people doing things at that size, you got to be able to have something special to gain an interest on the sport that is right now probably the worst between baseball, hockey, and football. Basketball is number 4. I don't know if they realize it, but at least they have Wemby. That's one thing that can hold them up, right? Since LeBron and KD are getting older, and Caitlin Clark, Sabrina is a phenom as well. I feel Sabrina will be breaking a lot of records, so she'll be known. Like, you'll have like that other person that you kind of compete with and are going to be vibing. I think Sabrina they'll go back and forth, and they'll push each other to push the sport. But Sabrina is a cool chick, man. Like, have her own shoe. It's all about just marketing and getting the right people to understand that, maybe in the past people weren't willing to watch. But if you got some of the best players ever playing right now, why not give it a try? And then if they market it well, then you might be able to capture a little bit of fans than you would have never captured. And then the more they do well and the more they dominate, then the more it'll grow. Pasta. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. Because like, as much as I like Sabrina, Clark's potential is higher. You know what I mean? Like, and Sabrina is very talented. Like, Sabrina could end up being very, very, when it's all said and done, she's very special. But if you're breaking all the records like that, and you're just this like phenomenal athlete, you have shooting skills, you don't get hurt, you're smart, you make other people better. It's like if you got all the categories, or you're like Otani, you're like a freakish size for a true full Asian. You're built like some fucking American gladiator, and you can pitch and hit home runs. You can throw for 10 to 15 Ks and get 2 home runs in the same game, and that's like nothing. Like, and you're Japanese. It's not like a brother or a Caucasian dude. It's not some fucking beast Puerto Rican or Cuban or Latino player. Like, I don't know, man. It's wild. You're going to have different races of different people to be able to dominate. But even for Asian standards, that's wild, bro. We were cool with Yao Ming action. Yao Ming was like that. Yao Ming made the Asians proud, right? They're like, oh, Yao Ming, like a guy that actually was like, you'll remember him, like, you know. And actually, the only guy that Jack had problems with was him. So, you know, Yao wasn't the best in the world or anything, but you know, he was pretty fucking good when he came through. I think he lived up to the expectations of him and the hype when he came through. I mean, he wasn't like a Manute Bol or a Sean Bradley, even though I like those big guys. I would always collect all their cards and everything. Shoot, Manute Bol. And then Bobo went to Oregon. So I was like, oh, cool. Like, I always loved Manute Bol. Tallest player, shooting threes, played with Barkley and the Sixers way back. Kraken fans against the wall. That Kraken beanie, I like that. Damn, that one's kind of slick. Little blue one. No, she will be the first pick in the draft. Like, why would you not pick the person that just had the best statistical career of anyone ever, and you're not going to pick him with the first pick? You'd be dumb. You're like, even if she fails, who cares? She won't. And she's going to be like a legend. Like someone that is like a Connor Bedard where you already know the guy's a Hall of Famer. Like, why would you pass on that? Like, it's just crazy to kind of vouch for a guy or a girl being a Hall of Fame player before they turn pro. But sometimes you just know. Like, if you've actually watched, you know, you can tell. Like, LeBron James was going to be good. He didn't look like anything we've ever seen before. You know, it was a more athletic Karl Malone and a guy that could dunk like Dominique and Jordan. And, you know, certain times, if you watch even enough of the lower level, high school or college, you're like, okay, I can see this transitioning on that level. I did see Ohtani's star today at the Dodgers press conference. Oh my God, it's nasty. Man, I don't know how many stitches, but it looks like a bunch, 15 to 20 on that elbow. So he won't be able to pitch this year, but once that heals up, hopefully the pitching won't go away. Like, and then he just transitions into be just a hitter, because obviously, you know, you want the pitching side out of Ohtani too, because he could be as good as your number one, or if you have a stacked lineup, hell, he could be your number 4. And he could just clean it up, and then, you know, you could have him pitch 3 times in a series or just twice. You know, it just depends on how good the team is. We're knotted up at 1 still. Less than 5 minutes to go in the second period. 1-1, baby. Yeah, and if she has a good tourney and has some good games, that could help too. Because on the tourney, if it's on like say CBS, and you know, most people are following you know, the men's. But while the men's game is going on, they're gonna have her pop up on the screen, and then, you know, and then people will start, you know, paying attention if they didn't know who she was. You know, it's just all about being able to, you know, get the games broadcasted, and also now with more people doing sports betting, more people are looking for ways to bet anything. You know, so if you think you got something that might be more of a for sure thing, but based off the talent level of the player, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be very interested in her career for sure. I mean, Iowa's been pumping out some like elite stuff. You know, it's like already getting like the tight ends and the offensive line, and you know, you're getting certain positions that are turning into Pro Bowl, All Pro, Hall of Fame players. But now you're getting it like on another side, and that's why it was cool for Oregon. You know, too, with Sabrina. It's like we got that for our school here in Oregon. So we got Justin Herbert and Sabrina, and like the vibe out here was pretty cool. You know, to be able to see like someone celebrated, you know, as like a guy athlete would have been, but like for a woman, and it to be even more because the player's better. Like, it was a cool thing. Go Ducks. Sabrina. Oh, I got to put the Connor Bedard on. I got to Bedard this. All right, I got to get all the games on. How many games am I watching? How many? As many as I can. Oh, here he is. Bedard, baby. So I'm watching Phenom Bedard. It's like the passing of the torch with Bedard and Crosby. Like, you know, essentially you have to foreshadow and you have to, like, look at things like that. And if you can recognize, like, the significance, you know, even of a regular season game that normally it doesn't really mean a lot. But I love like trying to like watch history as it happens when people don't recognize like the importance of the games necessarily. Unless you're like sports betting, then you're just focusing on everything. Come on, baby. Less than 3 minutes to go. Still knotted up at 1. Penguins, Blackhawks. Oh, I got both going. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. What you got any Duck news for me? What's going on with the Ducks, Matt? Besides the stuff that I send you, what's going on there? Oilers, Edmonton. Edmonton is good. So many Connors that are good. I got multiple hockey games on. Balling out of control. "29 shots on goal for the Bruins, 17 for the Kraken." Come on, baby. Woo, baby. Tolvanen, baby. Let's go. 2-1 Kraken. Hell yeah, baby. Fuck yeah, dude. Are you kidding me? You kidding me? What do you think about that, Bowie? Fuck yeah. Huh? Oh, shit. Let's go. Look at my mental health. Let's go, baby. Big like Tolvanen. Snapshot assisted Matty Benier. Let's go in 6 games, baby. Let's go, baby. That's how we do it. Good shit. Good shit. Tough matchup, too. We got you, Judah. So far, keeping up with you. You know, it's like you don't really, like, when you're on the road, regardless of how good you are, I mean, unless you're an elite top, 2 or 3 team, then you're going to play anywhere, home or away. You're dominating because you are the best, right? Or one of the best. But if you're like a middle of the pack team, it's like you never know how things are going to go. Consistency isn't there like the elite teams. So sometimes you can find little cracks and just try to expose those. And sometimes you get a little lucky right there too. Also, I think it really depends on the lines that you have out there and the time that you have there. Because with Matty Benier's line with Yanni Gord and Lemberg, Like, you have these certain guys that are out there at the same time with each other. There's certain ones that are better with each other. It's like sometimes you got to rotate some of these guys, or figure out a different combination where you have more of the skilled guys that play the best together. Maybe not the best players, but the best that play together. That's how you win. Like, yeah, you might be leaving an all-star on the fucking bench, but if you have the right 4 or 5 guys out there, it won't matter. You'll get the dub. That one guy might not get as much playing time, but if you play the other guy, you lose. But if you play the right way, maybe you can steal one. And, hey, we'll take a 2-1. We'll take a 2-1. And the second period, 2-1, Kraken. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Let me know what we want to do for photos. Go Kraken. Go Maddie. You score a goal. You get an assist the next game. We need you to be the best player. If Maddie ends up establishing himself as the best player on the team, and they can go that, and then we can get good consistency in net, yeah, you can end up making the playoffs. But if you don't have that consistency, it's really tough. But I like how we're playing today. And it's a homecoming for Maddie Veneer and Joey DeFord. They're both from Massachusetts. So they're going to play good today. All right, let me know what you guys want to do for photos. I'm going to be watching the Blackhawks and the Penguins. Sidney Crosby, Connor Bedard back. And then let me know what you guys want to do for photos while we wait for intermission to end. And I'm going to turn on a few more games. Try to get as many games as I can in. And let me know what you guys want to do for the photos. I got you. All right, double digits. We're at 10. Let's get to 20 on the locks. It'll be helping out with the algorithm. It'll help. It's a good game so far. Kraken 2, Bruins 1. Bruins, will more than likely find a way to tie it up and come back. But Boston, a first-place team in the 2023-2024 Atlantic Division. 32 wins, 11 losses. OTL with 74 points. Seattle Kraken, 2023-24 Pacific Division standings. 6th place. So we're a 6th-place team playing a first-place team. 22, 21, and 10. 54 points. So we're struggling. So far, so good. That's a good when a number 6 can keep up with a number 1. Appreciate that. Costa got it started. That was the first goal. Then Jordan Eberle on the power play. And Eli Kopanen in the second period. Maddie getting a goal would be great in the third period, but sometimes you got to wait. Every player matures at a different level. But it would be awesome if we got a third period goal. And Joey, just keep playing great in that, brother. You and Drew, baby. Hold up. gotta turn that. Pittsburgh. Is that Sidney Crosby, baby? Oh, yeah, Sidney Crosby. Oh, baby. Crosby, Dean Crosby. This is like passing the torch type of game, you know? It's like, you still know Crosby is Hall of Famer, Ovechkin is a Hall of Famer, but you got the new guy coming up, 29th goal of the season, 1-0 Pittsburgh. Now we need to see Connor Bedard score. That way you can kind of feel that vibe, like, hey, I'm not as good as you, but, you know, potentially, you know, I'm going to try to be if you have a long enough career. I like seeing history being made. I appreciate that. I just try to be able to do a little bit of everything, you know, NFL, college football, hockey, NHL, NASCAR, baseball. I mean, pretty much every sport. And then we do definitely wrestling, you know, little watch parties and whatnot for like the WWE pay-per-views each month. Those are fun. But if I wasn't doing the Kraken and the Bruins, this would have been the game that I would have chose tonight. This Penguins, Blackhawks, just for the simple fact of, you know, getting, you know, potentially two legends on the ice at the same time. If it is indeed Bedard's first game back after the broken jaw. And I actually streamed the game where he got his jaw broken, and that was the game that there was the most fights that I've ever seen. It was fucking crazy. I have never seen that many fights. And then they ended up doing like the extended, I'm going to leave this up, you know, where they have like 5 minutes straight, and then like the actual NHL cameraman will like watch the whole thing. I like that. You don't see that often, where they just let them go. It's been brewing for, you know, 2 periods, and then it's like, fuck it, and then gloves down, and then you get to see the whole fight. It's like nowadays you get a couple punches in, or they stop it. But that one was wild. I appreciate that. I like phenoms, and I like being able to watch phenoms play before they become a phenom. Like, it's just like all hype and like talent, but just, you know, but just to be able to see how good they are year 1, year 2. Like, how long does it take them to be like the best player in the sport if that's what they're trying to go for? That's kind of exciting. And will he be Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin? We don't know, but a lot of quote-unquote experts think damn well that he will be. 94 to go. All right, I'm going to get a drink. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. Doing good. Doing good. Brady, of course. I mean, pretty soon she's going to be, you know, pretty big. She should probably, you know, I would assume a lot of endorsements and a lot of things, especially if she can keep up that elite playing. So, Donato, face to face. Two, one, Kraken. We have to find a way to win this third period. That's a good one. That is a good one. I don't know if I was just gonna, you know, have just a staff of people that I would want on like a super team. You know, like if I could build my, you know, team or whatever, you know, definitely I would go. I mean, if we're not talking about, like, if Andy Reid is not in the, you know, conversation because it's like, you know, Chiefs and whatnot. We're talking about like others, but obviously with Shanahan and McVay, And I like the Dan Campbell aspect and how real he is, and I like what they're building there. And then consistency, I like Mike Tomlin, for consistency. So there's going to be, if you're talking about one of the top three, then obviously Andy, but there's certain personalities and certain pieces that are better than the others. So. Four shots on goal. Pittsburgh up 1-0 on the Blackhawks. Daytona 500. Kings, Devils 1-1. Oh. Oh, you be the OC, brother. OC. That play caller. You don't need to start off at tight ends coach or wide receiver coach. You get promoted to OC. You be a good one. Yeah, there'll be a lot of athletes and a lot of people, that like you can either recognize it, and it'll be really cool if she has some moments in the tourney where she does things that have never been done before or that are just a big deal. I mean, anything 40 points and above in a tourney game is, especially if she starts dropping a couple 50 bombs in like back-to-back games or something. That's that'll, you start to gain a lot more notoriety and, on top of all the great statistics, and you're dropping like 40 burgers or 50 burgers in the tourney. A couple 50 burgers back-to-back, that could be big. Then like the guy tourney will turn into the women's tourney. Yeah, you get promoted, boy. Promotion, boy. I like watching Connor Bedard. I like watching Crosby. I like watching greatness. I know. It's like you already got a lot of the top-notch stuff already, and she's going to get more and more. It just depends on like how much money that she'll take, and if it's like a company that that she agrees with, or if it's just like kind of like, well, whatever, at least I'm getting this. So it'd be big. She could be like the Tiger Woods of women's hoops. Like when he came in as a phenom. Heck yeah, Tom Brady. I'm really excited to see like what he, like I said, what he brings. I think he'll be making at least the broadcast. I mean, some people are going to hate on him no matter what because they already hate him as a player. But I feel that if you're just, going to be listening to all different types of voices, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, wrestling, NASCAR, there's certain people that are better than others. And, sometimes it's about their tone, but also their, how smart they are and, how they speak. And, not everyone is going to vibe with the same thing. That's why some people like AFC, some people like NFC stuff, Reflect in the building. What's good, man? All right. I'm watching 2 games at the same damn time. As long as my internet doesn't like fuck up. If it's getting all fucked up, let me know. And with my audio or my video, then I'll turn off one of these games on top of the games that I am watching. Caitlin Clark breaking records. The Kraken actually, we are number 6 in the Pacific Division, okay? Kraken, number 6, right? The Bruins, number 1 in their division. So, like last year, like very, very good. And then for the special matchup, you got Sidney Crosby, legend, going against Connor Bedard, legend in the making. And first game back after his jaw got broken, so. Well, it's all about understanding. If you understand, play terminology, doesn't matter if you're 21 or 51. There's going to be a lot of people younger than you that aren't going to understand the plays, and there's going to be people that are older, that will understand the plays, All right, I got to go off the audio now of the Penguins. I had to flip it up, baby. All right, let me get some audio. Yeah, let's go. How many games can I watch at the same time? Yeah, she could be something special. I mean, right now she is arguably one of the best players overall. I mean, probably more exciting than any of the men players this season. So how are things going? Anything new? Anything new on the Husky side and like recruiting or anything like that? Any other new news? College football, NFL stuff? It's very crazy to read and watch these programs based off the evaluation of the quarterbacks. A lot of people are all over the place, and you can definitely tell the people that have watched the games and the people that have not watched the games. So I'm very interested to see, if Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. get drafted like last among the quarterbacks that are considered elite. Well, they might end up being the best because they'll be on better teams with better succeed percentage rate maybe than some of the guys that get drafted early and go to the shittier organization with the shittier GM, shittier coaches, shittier supporting cast. Heck yeah. So is he going to be the RB1? Preston's like, let's go Stars. How many games do you want to watch at the same time? 3, 4, 5. I mean, I already got the Penguins game on watching here, Bedard and Crosby. And I got the Kraken game on here, 2-1. I got to soak in as much hockey as I can while it's here. And then we're going to be into baseball for Mariners and Dodgers and everything else. NASCAR, Daytona 500 this weekend, NBA All-Star game. So I have to decide what we're going to be doing. If we end up doing the, however they decide to do it for tomorrow for the NBA. And then Daytona 500 is on it at like 11:30. And then the NBA All-Star game is on Sunday at 5. So could have 1 or 2 streams on Sunday because I am interested in both events. I'm not really that big into the NBA All-Star game. It's just kind of a thing to watch. But the Daytona 500, I want to watch that for sure. dude. That's gonna be sweet. Yeah. And also just the direction of where college football is going. Like some of these guys are saying, hey, I got my third string running back. Penguins with a goal. Boom, 2-0 Penguins. But wow. But they're third string running back. He's like, if I don't get $1 million in the NIL or whatever, I'm leaving. Like, what do if you're like a bigger school or a smaller school, you're not going to be able to, I saw another thing about Florida sport. I don't know if it was like a part troll job, but saying that they were like desperately trying to get donations so that way they can keep some of their guys or get some guys. Everyone's budget's going to be different. But now it's like, the big boys with the money, that definitely will help. But still, it's up to the player, to decide where they're going to go. Because what if the money is same? Then it's just about personal fit. The popular place or the place that maybe I'll get more playing time if it's going to be a mill. It's crazy, $1 million here, $2 million. But it's like better to go to them than the university if they're just taking everything and the student athlete gets nothing. So give them something. I mean, they're going to be getting it on the next level anyways, and not everyone is getting these things. It's not like every player on the team isn't getting one. Imagine there's some jealousy there, in college. The people that get the money and the people that don't, like kind of the haters. Like, fuck that guy. Why am I not getting the money? Because sometimes it's not even the best players. It's like the marketable factor too, or what they look like. Come on, baby. Penguins 2, Blackhawks 0. Kraken 2, Bruins 1. Let's go, baby. Yeah. I don't know if I like that though. Like I already told you, I like history. If I had a choice to like stay in the Pac-12 forever, I would have rather done that. But the way that, sports is shifting, we had to join, and that made sense, to go to the conference that might end up being the power conference moving forward other than the SEC. It's just going to end up becoming 2 super conferences going at each other, and the champion's going to come out of either one or the other every single year. That's just how it's going to be. So we want to be on the winning side. Yeah. What are you feeling about the Hawks and a lot of obviously the coaches and the kind of lower experience factor with a lot of the coaches, right? But everything is brand new. So if people adjust to the guys, I don't know what's going to be like a fair, evaluation. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what the record is and what injuries happen and whatnot. But I think it's kind of exciting when you can build something new and you don't really have the expectations. I mean, of course, you can be like, let's try to get to 10 wins minimum. Let's try to win the NFC West. Let's try to, beat the Rams and try to beat the Niners the best that we can. And then, try to get 10, 11, 12, 13 wins. But you have to assume there'll be some growing pains as well. Megan in the building. What's good? Because every player and coaching staff will have, the growing pains. And sometimes things are going to be clicking and you're going to beat someone that you guys have no business beating. And then there'll be a game where you're like playing someone much lower than you and then you lose by like 17 and you're like, how the fuck did we lose to this team by this much? So I know there's going to be a few, games like that, but as long as you prepare yourselves for like the bad losses and then the big upset wins, you'll be fine. It's just as long as you know that those are coming, don't like make it like, oh, it's, most fans of a Pacific Northwest team know, there's, we're pretty battle tested, good, bad, ugly. We've been through it all. So. a lot of people would be very concerned with the lack of experience with everything because they just went from, oldest, young, but then the guys, maybe don't have a lot of experience. But again, if you have the right pieces of talent there and the right support above, and you keep nailing drafts, eventually good things are going to happen. And then it's just a kind of a steady, gradual, get better, and then have some growing pains, go down a little bit, and then have to be humbled, and then just keep, trying to inch up and, get to that point where all of a sudden you've won a couple playoff games, maybe even first place in the NFC West, and you feel that, hey, we can make the NFC Championship game. And then once you get that feeling, that's when you know that you've hit the top, and you're going to be there for probably like 2 to 4 years, and then you got to maximize, the opportunities, because it doesn't last long. Usually a reign of a team is 4 to 5 years max, and then you have to blow it up because of money, contracts. If you won, rookie deals, then you have to pay the guy. So reflect with the fiber. I appreciate you. But, I think that some coaching staffs, if they were, young, bang, right? It would be like, gosh, I don't know. But with this one, for me, not being biased and just like, looking on it from an outsider, looking in and, seeing like, how would I evaluate that? Would I be like, oh, they're in trouble, or do I think it's good? And I actually think from everything that I've read and I've seen, that it looks like, there will be growing pains, but I think that there's more of a chance for success to happen sooner than later. So I think that it's like a good sign. Like, I feel that I like pretty much where things are sitting. Now, is that going to equate to wins? Well, that's only if the coaches and players can be on the same page and the execution is there. But as far as like the names and the kind of the gelling, we have to wait and see how it looks. But on paper, at least it looks like it could be, but we have to be able to, we'll get through like the preseason practices. We'll see it on film, the little sneak peek, see like, okay, how do they look? Are they gelling? And then, yeah, so it should be pretty exciting to see how that pans out. So every draft, this one, and then the next 3 after this, there's going to be a 4-year draft, period where it's going to be very essential with this new coaching staff and I believe you only have one coach that you're retaining from the, past regime is what I was reading, unless they make the change on that. But that's what last time I read, it was down to 1. Appreciate you. Future is bright. Boom, baby. Guess who? Matty Beniers. You put him on the thumb, Matty Beniers, Joey DeCord, and Matty being from Massachusetts. It's a homecoming. Bang, bang, bang. 3-1. Kraken. That's what I wanted, and that's what I got. Bang, 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 bang. Let's go. Kraken. Joey, Matty. And I said that at the beginning of the broadcast, half kind of jokingly, but I was like, it would be really cool because homecoming shit, I was like, that's what happens. You have to dig deeper than just the regular matchup. What's some extra motivation after Crew's big win? Oh, they're both from Massachusetts. Homecoming! And you get the goal, baby, and an assist from the other matchup. Let's go. Holla, holla. Let's go. Kraken. Bang, 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 bang. Going to Boston and getting a dub, Matty. If Matty plays like he's the best player on the team, then we win games like this, because that's what we drafted him for. We drafted him for him to be our pasta. They got a pasta. We want our pasta. But our pasta's cold sometimes, and we need it to be hot, baby. Let's go. Give Tino the money. And then also, you can draft somebody, just like with Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Just because you got Tino and Baker on our respective teams now does not mean that we have to give the wedding ring to them and say this is forever, because that would not be right for both parties, and we already know that wouldn't be a good idea. At some point, you want to have someone, if it's not going to be a replacement, than someone that is a quality backup. So if an injury happens, you still feel that the season isn't over. And then that person could take the role. But I mean, some good quarterbacks coming out this year, next year, the following year. So it's like if you have a team that has an aging quarterback, or you just want to be able to, figure out new blood, new life, new vibe, new, swag, I'd be looking there. I appreciate you. Bang, bang, $5. I'll see 12. Bang, bang, $5 reflect. I'm excited. I'm going to be watching everything you guys do. And like I said, I watch everything on the Pacific Northwest side. And, I'll be 100% honest and real with all the evaluations. Like I said, we want to be able to represent and root for every player that we get on our favorite team. But the sad thing is sometimes certain players can be like our favorites or one of our favorites, but just also realizing that if we would have had better evaluators in the war room, maybe we could have got a Hall of Fame player at the position or a guy that we like that's just a starter. That's where you can evaluate talent. And then if you can improve those positions for the fan favorite guy that's just a starter, and then that guy actually could have been a Hall of Famer, then you go from being a team on the fringe to a team that might be a contender. So, those are the things that you have to look at, that we still have guys that we can root for and like, but in all honesty, some guys need to be upgraded and there needs to be better talent to be, in competition on all our teams. So, and if you can recognize that type of player, and sometimes it's going to be, team vibe, team fit, team scheme, and other time it's just going to be all around talent. You got to hit on those. And me doing I'm not doing mock drafts yet, but I have been seeing some things where what is the crowd reaction for Seahawks? Obviously offensive line, defensive line, and this is for people that I've interacted with and people that I've read, right? Offensive line, defensive line is what's most important, because you have to be able to win in the trenches. So it might not be the sexy pick, right? But then that's what needs to be done if you want to build it from the inside out, right? Right. But if for whatever reason that, they get someone, not on the defensive end side or D-tackle or whatnot, but if they get Jackson Powers, right, I think that most fans would be ecstatic with that, because he's the best center, in college football, the best center probably Oregon's ever had, and the guy could end up being a Hall of Fame player, Pro Bowl, All-Pro player. So if you get that as the Seahawks center, that would change a whole lot for that offensive line with who they have on the team, and setting a standard even higher than what they have. And then if they don't do that, also if you get a tight end, because the Colts are looking at Brock Bowers, but what happens if the Seahawks got Brock Bowers? Obviously at the position that you guys are in, you probably would have to trade up, or it would fall into your lap for whatever reason. People started trading for quarterback. We would assume that he would already been drafted top 12, maybe top 10. But if Bowers slid a little bit, you would end up possibly having a Hall of Fame tight end. When's the last time the Seahawks have had a Hall of Fame tight end? Hall of Fame tight end kind of sounds sexy. And when you look at teams that are going far, a lot of them have a top 5 tight end. Imagine if the Seahawks ended up having a top 5 tight end in the league, someone that you could match up with Kittle, match up with Kelsey, match up with Mark Andrews, and then now Sam Laporta, and it could be Bowers and Laporta as the new, Kelsey Kittle. That would be kind of crazy. I could see, obviously offensive line is more important, defensive line, but if you were, to go for Jackson Powers, that would be center. And then if you were going tight end, I mean, we're talking about a guy that could be a Sam Laporta-ish, kind of guy, maybe even better. So, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Let's go. 3-1 Kraken. Yeah, I mean, just imagine someone that's a top 5 tight end on top of AR, Pittman, Towns, and then JT is balling like a top 5 running back. Like, you would end up having one of the offenses that we as outsiders normally would be like, I'm not watching the Colts. But if you have that offense and they're flowing, then you're going to get people that are like, dang, I got to watch some Colts games, you know? And that's always cool when you can get people that don't even give a shit about the team, but they recognize the talent, you know, on a unit, offense or defense, where you can tell they're going to be good. And then you could end up having some magic there. And then, you know, that would make AR of a better player, especially if your check down guy is a top 5 tight end in the league. The baby blues, and then reflect. You let me know what you want. Got you too. We're doing great. It's a great day. 3-1 Kraken. We're winning this. Unbelievable. More than likely. I mean, as long as our defense doesn't just implode. Not implode. Let's play some good defense, baby. Back-to-back games of great goalie play. Joey Decord and Philip Grubauer. Kraken getting hot at the right time of the season, and we can, you know, compile some, you know, good wins, you know, and especially we're a number 6 team in the division. This is a number 1 team, so, you know, trying to feed off that, you know, vibe. And wow, what a save! If we can just find a way to, you know, just slowly work our way from 6 to 5 to 4. I mean, that doesn't mean a lot to most people, but, you know, it's not every hockey team is going to be great. You know, sometimes you get kind of in a ditch in a hole early, and it's hard to climb out, and everyone still wins, and you're not as consistent as other teams. But today, hey, 3-1 against the Bruins. I'll take that. Less than 7 minutes to go. Let's go, baby. Get some more photos up here in a second. 33 shots on goal for the Bruins, 24 for the Kraken. (2-0) Penguins up on Bedard and the Blackhawks. 5:49 left in the third period. Pasta. The Brian May. See, and this is what it happens sometimes, Megan, too, right? Where we think we might just get our ass kicked in a game, right? Even though we had a really good game with Drew, but now you're going back to Joey and, you know, number 6 versus number 1, and then all of a sudden the opposite happens. Like, instead of them being up 3-1, we're up 3-1. So, and we got that little home stretch. First 3 games are winnable. The last 3 games, it looks like it'll be a little bit more difficult, but not impossible. So, and when we get on this little home stretch, you know, if we can feed off these last 2 wins, you know, maybe we can get on a little bit of a run and we can hit like something nice, like a 8 or 9 game win streak, or maybe more. You know, that would be nice. That's what we need for us to be able to move up in the standings. You know, can we get a little 9-game win streak, please? 30-goal club. Most seasons with 30-plus goals. Esposito, Middleton, and Pasta. I would say that's pretty good for Boston. Phil Esposito, Rick Middleton, and David Pasternak. Champion. Five minutes to go, baby. Come on, baby. 5 minutes to go. Come on, Kraken. Defense has been superb. Joey Decord, head on a swivel. And again, when Maddie plays great, like the draft pick that we drafted him, when he's trying to play like a top 10 player in the NHL, but we get top 10 fucking results when he does, because then it feeds off to the goalie and then the rest of the players and the rest of the lines are even playing harder. If Maddie can be the best player on the team, the guy, and it can execute it, scoring goals on the regular, it's going to lift everyone on the team. And then it's not going to matter if we got Joey or Crew and Nick, because they're both going to be awesome. But it's just a matter of, can we get it to that point? Let's go, baby. Run. Football over, but baseball right around the corner. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm still gonna use them, and I got air bubble on the back, so it's like I'm gonna use them until the air bubble pops in either one, and if it doesn't, then I just have to look at the tread. But I go, rain, shine, snow, it doesn't matter. And Paisley is a warrior. It'll be just pouring down rain and we'll be fucking stoked. But she'll go, because she knows that she'll have to go to the bathroom, but she likes to go on an adventure, and then I just got to dry her off, and get her harness dried on the heater. Because, when we get soaked, but at least, if I'm not doing the 45-minute or hour walk, then I got to do at least 20 to 30, even if that means we're getting wet. So, got to get that exercise. Adventures every day. And you never know. You might look up and see a UFO. Saquon in that Harbaugh offense with the Chargers. You could still have Eckler, but I guess if you moved on from Eckler, I don't know Eckler's situation, but I guess if you moved on from Eckler and you brought in Saquon, they both get hurt. You know what I mean? But if that's what Harbaugh wants and is thinking that he can prolong the career, of Saquon, and he'll have he'll still get hurt, but different uniform, different vibe. Maybe that would be good for both players. Then I guess where would Eckler end up? But yeah, 3-1 Kraken. Come on, baby. Let's go, baby. Good job, Maddie. You the man. I've been waiting for games like this all season. That's when you have one of your best players based off draft position, right? And they end up going off for a goal or 2 goals or an assist or 2 assists. So it's you see the dominance, you drafted them to be this player, but every player develops at different rates. Sometimes you get it immediately. Sometimes you have to wait 2 or 3 years before it shows up. And sometimes it doesn't show up at all, or it's very rare, or maybe 1 season. So, but the better that you can have your young rookies and young second, third year guys play elite, that's when you can take off as a franchise and win games 3-1 against a team that's much better than you. Yeah, Brady's showing his support. If you have stat and analytical guys, sometimes you're going to pick guys and they're going to get hurt. Sometimes it's just not going to be a good fit, but first couple drafts in the new regime will be very key. And I think, you know, as far as the Hawks are concerned, you know, I think that if there's some free agents, you know, that are out there, it just depends on how much money that they want to spend. But I don't think Seattle is a place that is, you know, considered not desirable. I would assume that people would want to go there if the money was right, you know. But again, it's all going to be about team fit for you guys. You know, sometimes it's not going to be the most popular name, you know, or sometimes you'll just, you know, try to do it yourselves, you know, through the draft and whatnot. So. And a lot of times when you bring in free agents on any team, it doesn't work out. Like the free agent you bring in, it's a big name, you pay the money, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But when you build through the draft correctly, that's when you end up going further because it's your guys. You were the one that scouted them, you were the one that developed them, and then you developed all the guys that are, you know, the top guys together, and then you just have to hope that you can have like a 5-year run of elite ball of whatever sport, and then hopefully get a championship or two appearance, and you win one of them. And then that way you can cement the legacy. That's kind of the goal for, I think, any team sport. Build, 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 and then have a 5-year run. Hope you get to the championship twice, and then if not once, and then if you do go, hope you win, you know. Less than 2 minutes to go. 3-1 Kraken on a power play. Aizley's in the building. Yeah, O-line and D-line, but I mean, what are the chances that they go Bowers or if they ended up going Jackson Bowers? Like, you know, I'm not sure if this new regime would be doing that. But then if you end up going for offensive line, for example, and then that guy gets injured or busts, and then those guys turn into Hall of Fame players, you're going to be like, shit, what did we do? We did what we were supposed to do, but the guy got hurt or he didn't work out, and then all of a sudden you see like Bowers turn into Hall of Fame or Jackson Powers ends up being a Hall of Famer. Like, these are things that you have to take in consideration. Like, you know, it might not be a position that you're thinking of that's a supreme need now, but how many guys have a chance to be a Hall of Fame type of player? You got to look at that angle too. It's going to be a very competitive division regardless of what any team does or doesn't do. Niners, Rams, Seattle are going to be run to try to win the division every year. It's very competitive. Beat the shit out of Arizona, get a couple easy wins out of them, and then it's a free-for-all where you guys just knuckle up on each other every fucking year. And then whoever's left standing, you know, is not as beat up. That usually will be the two that advance or one. But your division is strong, so you should have 2 playoff teams every year. I mean, hell, it's like sometimes you guys should have 3. It's like 3 teams, all of them. Boom, boom, boom. 30 seconds to go. Look at that, Kraken. Crack-a-lackin'. Well, GG to Judah. GG. You know, you guys are still a much better team than us, but we got you. You know, normally with 25 shots on goal, you don't have 3 goals. At that rate, you're lucky maybe you got 1. So it's just one of those games, motivational games for the goalie and the center, you know what I'm saying? Homecoming. And that homecoming was a vibe. And you got really good goalie play, great defense, and then the hometown kid said, fuck it, I'm gonna score in front of my family. And then guess what? That happened. So it's about recognizing stuff like that. So sometimes, you know, with my ESP, I'll just, you know, do the research and look at extra things that can motivate me, and then I'll be like, hey, I bet these are the guys that probably play good today. Why not? They're, you know, and then if you bet on it or talk about it, and then boom, it happens. So, but as equally, they could have both had shitty games where the court gave up 3 goals in front of his family and Matty does nothing. So, but nice to see that the prediction came true. You know, I like seeing 3-1 rather than 4-1. 4-1. Oh, baby. But Bruins first place team, Kraken 6th place team, but we're trying to make it from 6th to 5th and then 5th to 4th. We're just trying to move up the ladder, baby. Moving up the ladder. Moving up the ladder. McCann. Seattle. Like, what are the chances? Seattle 4, Boston 1. Unbelievable. Oh, bullseye, Jared McCann. Like, let me just shoot from really far away and let's see what happens. Kraken. Fuck yeah, 4-1. Wow, baby. Yeah, Kraken on the prowl. Matty Beniers on the prowl. Matty Beniers plays like he's the best player on the team. Guess what? We win. Joey Decord. We got 2 good goalies now with Drew, Joey. Okay. Okay. Now, Boston, you'll be fine. You still got Pasta, right? Just a bad matchup for y'all, but you guys have been dropping in some games that you shouldn't have been dropping, which is concerning, but you're still first place in your division. So, concerned, but you're not as bad as us. And what do you guys want to do for the photos? He said Bruins. Kraken. Kraken. Can't wait for the Mariners. Mariners, eh? Fucking played lights out. That was wild. GG. Good game, Judah. Next time we play, we'll probably lose 4-1. So, hell, I'll take a rare, not, we did not see that coming. But like I said, I did have a good feeling about today, just based on it was a homecoming for 2 players. Why the hell not? They play good. And then guess what? They did. I love it when that happens. Little subtle things like that. You look for extra motivation for players to get the extra motivation in the big game. Awesome. Maddie. Yeah, baby. What kind of photos are we looking at? $37 out of 38. Let's go, Joey Decord. You're really, really good. My God, man. That's my guy, man. Kraken hockey, baby. I hope you guys draft really well, though. I mean, the better Seattle is, the better Mariners will be. It'll be just a vibe of all Kraken, Mariners, and then eventually Sonics whenever they have that. And it's just getting the Pacific Northwest on a vibe. It's just going to be good for all of the teams involved in Oregon and Washington. California is not included. That's West Coast is the best coast, but we're just talking about Pacific Northwest. That is just only Oregon and Washington, and we pride ourselves on that. We're built a little bit different. Not that California people are bad. Lots of California people are amazing, and a lot of California people are actually transplants to Oregon and Washington. They left California to live in Oregon and Washington life. So, and some of them, they know what we have to offer. can't wait to see what you guys do. Will you guys draft a quarterback this year, or will you not draft a quarterback this year? Lots of holes to fill on the offensive line and defensive line. So kind of feels like, even though the talent is there, it might not fit, what they want. Like kind of leaning like, I don't know, maybe do they wait another year before they do it? Because it just depends on who's there in the draft at that moment. And if you feel that this could be like something that you could work with. I just can't wait for Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. to be badass and surprise the hell out of nobody in the Pacific Northwest, because we already knew. Yeah. 4-1 Kraken. Kraken leg. Like what happens if he's like the fifth quarterback taken, like, Daniels, May, Caleb, even Bo gets selected in front of him. Then he ends up on a team and then ends up being the best one in the draft. Like as long as he doesn't get hurt, why not? If he goes lower, that means he's going to go to the better quality team, Like I keep hearing all these rumors of certain players going to the Steelers or whatever, but I don't know. If I was the Steelers, I would rather want Michael Penix Jr. rather than like a Justin Fields if I had a choice, Gunslinger. We're going to put him up on the screen. And we as fans, as far as left-handed sports, like we deserve to have at least two good lefties in a profession, so that way that when they go against each other, it's amazing, right? Why can't we have that? Just each guy just going 50-yard bombs left and right, and it just looks pretty. Different angle each time, with each guy going down, and it'll have one angle where you can see the jersey name, and then the other one will have, kind of more of the other posture. He's going long. He's going deep. Or if they ended up doubling up and you got Michael Penix Jr. and Rome, like what are the chances it's one team that grabs both guys and they double dip? Rome goes first and then Penix goes after, or however that goes. Do you double dip? Do you double dip? Rome, Michael, double dip. Do you double dip? Probably not going to happen. The dipping. He's kind of good. He's kind of good. I mean, it's just like Ken Griffey Jr. swinging the bat. There's nothing prettier than a left-handed swing of an elite player. And there's no right-handed swing you can show me that's better than Griffey's, period. And then when you look at like lefties, just the way they look when they are in motion, like you can't tell me nothing looks cooler than that. It just, you have righties and there's certain guys that can throw bombs, but I could have a guy that's a righty throw 80 yards downfield, but I would rather have the spiral come out left like this. There's just something different about sports when you see it with the delivery and then the bomb gets completed. It's like there's more excitement when it looks like that for whatever reason. Tell me I'm wrong. The plays are more exciting when they're going the opposite direction. And then when you start to see the pocket close, right? And then you see this. And then he's tucking. tucking and running, and all of a sudden the Michael Vick comes out. Michael Vick, Michael Penix, Michael Vick. And then you're like, oh, something good going to happen. Something good going to happen. You feel that way with Bo Nix too. Oh, I got to run with it a little bit. Something good going to happen. Everyone thinking that Caleb and Drake May and Jaden Daniels are so much better. Are they? We will find out. And it'll be a blessing for Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. to slide in the draft, because the more they slide, that's the better potential fringe playoff team that they're going to go to. They're not going to go to a bottom feeder where they may not be able to succeed with good players around them or good coaching. It's just going to be shit. So that's why with Caleb and Drake May and Jaden Daniels, they might not be able to succeed as fast. But if you're Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. and you get picked 4th and 5th after those guys, but then you end up on like the Steelers or Buccaneers or Vikings, it could be a blessing in disguise, baby. Bo Nix to the Denver Broncos. I don't know if that would be good, though, for Justin Fields to go to the Steelers. But Justin Fields can't really play. Like, you know, he's more of a running quarterback, and his accuracy is not very good. So, yeah, as a runner, he's fun to watch. But I'm not sure how long before you have a couple bad games before you start getting the boo birds out of you, you know? Steeler fans are ruthless. You know, you think they're going to let Justin Fields survive? Like, I mean, obviously, you know, the Bears fans love him, and some of them probably hate him. But, I mean, it's a better situation than the Bears. But it's like, if you're the Steelers and, you know, and you're Tomlin, do you really think that's the answer? That's the answer after over Pickett? You know, Pickett ain't the answer, but I don't know if Steelers Fields is good enough. I mean, I'd rather go for a guy in the draft. Give me Bo Nix or this guy over Fields on the Steelers, but we'll see. We'll see. The Squid Squad, thank you. Appreciate you. Goodbye. Talk to you tomorrow or very soon. All right, anything else that anybody wants to see before I go? Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X. I'm going to go take Paisley on another walk. Hopefully we don't get drenched and rained on. Final score, Kraken 4, Bruins 1. Amazing. And then I guess tomorrow, if they have any of the NBA activities that are tomorrow in that particular matchup, what are they going to be calling it? Maybe we'll do that. All right, All-Star Weekend. Rising Stars. Yeah, so maybe we do the Rising Stars. I'm trying to look at how they're situating all this. All right. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Good night. Good night. Good night. I appreciate you. So we'll probably do the Rising Stars tomorrow. And then Saturday, the NBA All-Star festivities, like Steph Curry and Sabrina, we'll probably do that. And then on Sunday, it'll either be Daytona 500 and the NBA All-Star game, or we'll just do the NBA All-Star game and I'll just watch Daytona with Paisley. So we'll figure it out. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. What a way for the Kraken to get going. Appreciate all the people that donated, commented, shared, all the people watch on Twitter/X. And then I'll do a post tomorrow based on what we end up doing, but we'll probably do a lot of the NBA All-Star Weekend festivities with maybe a little Daytona 500 sprinkled in. And I love you guys, and I appreciate you. And I got one question for you. Who you know talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatic, and I'm out. Okay.